Like I said earlier, we had family right here in Welch, West Virginia. I've been coming here, other than my home state of Tennessee, I have spent more time in the state of West Virginia than anywhere else in the 25 years that I've been in this ring wrestling. I have been from Huntington to Morgantown. I've been to places like Red Jacket, Jaeger, places most people can't find on the map. I know all about West Virginia because we are Appalachian brothers and sisters just right down the mountains here from East Tennessee to southern West Virginia. And I've got a special place in my heart for the people of these mountains. I'm proud to be from the Appalachian Mountains. I'm proud to be from where I come from because we got a lot of things to be proud of. East Tennessee's got Davy Crockett. Southwest Virginia's got June and Johnny Cash. The Cash family, the Carter family. Southern West Virginia had Smiling Sid Hatfield that fought for the people of these coal ridges right here and the coal mines right here. And you know, in the last 50 years, a lot of stuff has changed up here in these mountains, and it's not like it used to be. You know, I as a little boy, my dad pastored a little country church just like this. And the first message that I ever learned from the Bible was David and Goliath. Do you know that story? Amen. Do you know how that giant stood there and he cussed God and he cussed everybody there, and he was the champion of champions? He wasn't wrestling. He was a killer. He was a giant, and he was sent there to destroy people. Does that sound familiar? The devil, seek, kill, and destroy. And that's exactly what he's trying to do to all the good people of the Appalachian Mountains. You look around, how many of you here is 35 years or older? Okay. Growing up as kids, these mountains was like the Andy Griffith Show. It's not like that anymore. And just like Goliath stood across there and cussed God, there's giants in these mountains. Like drugs and addiction. Like poverty. Like depression. Suicidal tendencies. Somebody here tonight is fighting one of those giants, maybe all of them. And I tell you that because I know it from my own history. And you have to have the faith that David had. You know, you're probably sitting here and you go, I got problems. We all have problems. I can't face them. I can't do them because you've been told for many years you're just from Bradshaw, West Virginia. You're just from McDowell County, West Virginia. You're just from Scott County, Virginia. You're just from Washington County, Tennessee. Nobody in these mountains matter. Let me tell you something. Each and every one of you matters, or I wouldn't be standing here right now tonight. Because I want to tell you something. We are fighting a battle. You think about in our lifetime, all the stuff that's been invented. The internet, satellite TV, satellite radio, and you think about what great purposes they were invented for and the evil that they're being used for every day now. Just like these towns up here that I've seen in my 25 years coming here. When I came up here years ago, there was no bars on the windows in any of these towns. And I've seen it for the last few months coming up here everywhere. Because there's problems here. The devil is sending his giants, like I said earlier. And we're all facing giants, but we have to have the courage to go down there to that creek and pick up those rocks. You know, everybody told David, you can't do it. You're just a boy. You're inexperienced. You have no power. How are you going to beat the champion? When Goliath stepped out there and he looked at him and he saw him as a boy, he said, what do you send a kid to do a man's job? Look at what you sent to me. And what did David tell him? Hey, buddy, you pick up that spear, you pick up that sword, you pick up that shield, and you come at me like a man, because I got God on my side, and what do you have? You know, in a one swoop, he didn't need 5 stones, he only needed 1. And he got the job done, but he had the faith to go down there. And you're asking me tonight, Bo James, what faith are you talking about? I'm going to tell you what faith I'm talking about. Just like he went to the waters, there's a living water. There is faith in a man named Jesus. And if you don't know him, you're not going to defeat these giants. If you don't know him, you're not going to be able to overcome what the devil is sent to seek, kill, and destroy you, your town. And most importantly, if you're not concerned about yourself and your neighbors, your children and your grandchildren. So here's the deal. I come here tonight to entertain you and give you a wrestling match. Many months ago, when they asked me, do you know about Bradshaw, West Virginia, McDowell County? I said, I've been there many times. My heart breaks for the people here because I have seen these towns draw up. I have seen the businesses leave. I have seen people leave because they believe there's no hope in these mountains. Look right over here at this sunset. You're on top of a mountain that God made just for you. Look at this beautiful view right over here. That was made for us. If God didn't believe in you, he wouldn't give you something as beautiful as this. He wouldn't give it to any of us. If he didn't believe in you, he wouldn't have sent his only son to save you from a burning hell. Because I want to tell you something. It's not, I can't do it. I'm no good. I'm not whatever. I've been told all my life I can't beat anything. You stand up just like David and said, did I not defeat the bear? Did I not defeat the lion? I have victories on my side, and the most important victory over this giant that stands before me, and I don't know your personal circumstances. I don't know your personal problems. I don't know the personal giant. But I know a God that's much bigger than any giant that stands in front of you right here tonight. I know his son, Jesus Christ, the toughest man that ever lived, and I've been in a ring with some tough people, let me tell you. But he was beat, he was mocked, he was made fun of, he was hung on a cross, and he was stabbed in the side. And he did it for who? He did it for you. For whoever calls upon his name. Not Bo James that called for him, not Brother Donnie, not Brother Bob, not Brother Russell, anybody. Romans 10:9 says, if you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, he was risen from the dead, he come to pay the price for your sins, then you shall be saved. And I come here tonight to tell you there's hope in these mountains. There's people here that love you. We took time away from our families. We took time away from our own churches. We took time to come here because we love you. We come here to show you that there's a greater power than any giant that's standing before you and cussing you and saying you cannot do it. My Father says, yes, I can. Yes, you can. Not by our powers, but by his. And all the glory is to him through his Son. And now there's two things in the Bible, and I'm going to get wrapped up here. And I told you about David when he told that giant. He said, you come at me with everything you got. Don't you look at me as a little boy. Because I got God on my side, and that fires me up every time I hear it and read it. But there's another passage that fires me up. When Stephen was being stoned, and he looked to heaven, and he said he saw Jesus standing. When you read about Jesus most of the time, he is sitting at the right hand of the Father, and he is waiting to come back to get his children. But the Bible plainly tells you, you have to take a stand before man. And Jesus will take a stand before the Father. And as Stephen was getting ready to go to heaven, Jesus stood up and he said, Dad, that's one of mine right there. Let him in here. Now I want to ask you this question. And I want to leave you with this thought, and I hope that you take me very seriously here. If you're sitting here and you're thinking tonight, I think I'm okay. I think I've got Jesus in my heart. I'm 99% sure that I'm going to go to heaven if I die. Brothers and sisters, you're 100% going to go to hell, because when Jesus gets a hold of you, there's no doubt, there's no wishing, there's no thinking. You know right then and there. It's not a magical power, but it's an everlasting love that takes over. Now, there's a funeral going on right down the road here. Every trip that we have made up here to this community to get ready for tonight over the last few months, it seems that we either came a day or two before or after a funeral. Death is in these mountains, and death is all around the world. You cannot get out of this world alive. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a wrestler and I said, I'll see you later, and he got killed in a car wreck. He died of a heart attack. I cannot tell you how many times it's happened in my own family. Nobody is promised tomorrow. You're not promised the next breath. I want everybody here to take a deep breath. And I want you to let it out. That's how close to heaven or hell you are right now. You're not promised the next minute. And just like they said, you take a stand in front of man, Jesus is going to take a stand for you. You're going to live eternity somewhere. Is it going to be in paradise? Is it going to be with love? Or are you going to go to hell because you let a giant defeat you that the devil sent after you and you're going to pay eternity for? Are you going to let your children follow you right there to that same hell? If you're standing out here, you're sitting out here tonight, and you say, I want to go to heaven. I want to accept Jesus in my heart. I want to make sure without a shadow of a doubt that I am saved and my children can follow me because I'm going to work as an example and I'm going to teach them about Jesus. I'm going to go and do whatever it takes. All it takes, confess with your mouth, believe in your heart. Jesus will change you. And you're sitting here and you're saying, he ain't going to save me, I did this. He ain't going to save me, I did that. He's not going to take care of me because I'm an awful person. Once again, it said, whoever calls on the name shall be saved. If you don't know Jesus, I hope tonight is the night that we get to introduce you to him right here. We fed you. We've entertained you with Elvis. We've entertained you with wrestling. But this is the most important thing of the night. This message right here is the most important moment, I hope, of your life. If you don't know him, we're going to be down front right here. Brother Donnie and Brother Bob will come up here. And if you want to meet Jesus right here tonight, if you want to make sure that you're going to heaven, if you maybe knew Jesus as a small child and you got away from him and you say, boy, I'm mixed up in all kinds of stuff. You don't understand what I'm mixed up in. Yes, I do. Because that's exactly what happened to me. It's time to come home tonight. You want to give your life to the Lord, right here is your time. This is your moment of decision. You're not promised to get home. You're not promised to get out of this grass right here tonight. I hope you don't leave here not knowing Jesus. You got some music to play, Chris? Play some music. Brother Donnie's going to be here. Brother Bob, step right up here, please. Tonight is your night of salvation. This is your time. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing, nobody's going to laugh at you or mock you.